Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an Aphmau statue. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to not only check out the description below, in which I'll be leaving links to all of my tutorial playlists, but also feel free to check out the card system, where I'll be leaving more specific targeted playlists I think that you guys will really want to check out. For instance, my exclusively YouTubers playlist. If you like this, odds are you'll want to check out the card system. Moving on, if you want to make Aphmau, here's what you're going to need. We need quite a few materials. Grab some light blue stained clay, and some cyan stained clay, grab blue stained clay, some white stained clay, then grab yourself some black wool, then grab yourself some light grey. You'll also need white, also grab magenta, and finally guys, grab yourself some orange wool, and I believe that they're the only materials that we're going to be needing. I've been wrong before, but I think that we're probably good with these. Once you have each one of these materials right here, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off Aphmau with a row of 8 light blue stained clay in a row on the floor. That's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. And once you have your row of 8 light blue stained clay, stacking directly on top of it, do an entire layer of black wool. Perfect. Then for the next row, going from left to right, guys, do 2 black wool, 1 white, 2 black, 1 white, 2 black. For the next row, do 1 black, 1 white, 4 black, 1 white, 1 black. Then for the next row, do 2 black, 1 white, 2 black, 1 white, 2 black. Then for the next row, do 1 light blue clay, followed by 1 white, 1 black, 2 light blue, 1 black, 1 white, then 1 light blue. Then for the next row, do 1 white clay, 2 light blue clay, 2 white clay, 2 light blue clay, 1 white clay. Then for the next 3 rows, do 3 solid rows of white clay. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. Then do 2 additional rows of light blue clay. So that'll be 1 and 2. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 1 blue clay, then 1 black, 4 white, then 1 black, then 1 blue clay. For the next row, do 1 black, 1 blue, then 4 white, 1 blue, 1 black. Then for the next 3 rows, do 2 black, then 4 blue clay, then 2 black. And like I said, that's for 3 rows, so that's 1 and 2 more, and 1 and 2 more. So with the 2 additional rows plus the first one, that gives us our 3 rows. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 3 black wool, then 2 purple, or 2 blue. I'm sorry, I call it purple because it's the colour purple, isn't it? So accidentally, 2 blue clay, then do 3 black wool. Then for the next row, do 1 blue clay, then 2 black wool, 2 blue clay, 2 black wool, 1 blue clay. Then for the next row, do 3 black wool, 2 blue clay, 3 black wool. Then for the next 2 rows, do 2 black wool, then 4 blue clay, 2 black wool. And like I said, that's not only for 1 row, but that is for 2 rows. Then for the last 2 rows of the torso, do 2 white stained clay in the 2 center spots of the row, and then just do black wool surrounding them on either side. So what you want to end up with, guys, should look a little bit like this, and this is what we want to have for Aphmau's both legs and torso. Once you've got those taken care of, this is what we want to do next. Take out your white stained clay. Come all the way up to the top right hand corner of your statue, so this black wool. Going right of this black wool, do a row of 4 white stained clay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then, underneath this row of 4 white stained clay, want to add 6 additional rows, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we can just fill in those 6 rows, can't we? So underneath there, just do 6 rows of white stained clay. What we can then do for the next row, coming under this, going from left to right, do 3 white stained clay, then 1 cyan stained clay. Then for the next 2 rows, or the next 3 rows I should say, for 3 rows, do 3 solid rows of cyan clay, so that'll be 1, 2, and 3. Then to finish this off, going from left to right underneath this last row, this third row of cyan stained clay, do 1 white stained clay, then 3 cyan stained clay, and that will be the first arm for Aphmau, and that's exactly what it wants to look like. Easy enough, guys. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the opposite side and we can do the exact same thing. So coming up, or starting from the top left hand corner of Aphmau's torso, so going left of this block, do 4 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then underneath, do 6 solid rows of 6 white stained clay, or 6 solid rows of 4 white stained clay, I should say. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we just have to add these in right here. So we just now have our 7 rows in total. We've got the 1 plus 6, 7 rows in total of the white stained clay. And then for the next row, going from left to right underneath this, we want to do 1 cyan stained clay, then 3 white stained clay. Then for the next 3 rows, do 3 solid rows of cyan, that will be 1, 2, and 3. Then for the last row, going from left to right, 3 cyan, then 1 white stained clay. And that will be Aphmau's second arm, and you should end up with something that should look exactly like this. And that's perfect, guys. That's exactly what you want to have. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the next bit. So we're now going to move on to the back of the statue. So quite literally come all the way around to the back of the statue and come all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. Take out your light blue stained clay and take the 2 bottom corners of the statue and extend them coming out of the back of the statue each by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Then connect each one of those third blocks together, like that. Now, only focusing on these 8 black back blocks, or these 8... I say black because that's the next colour that we're going to do. Focusing on top of these 8 back blocks that we have right here, we now want to do 4 solid rows of black wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're only building up on top of these 8 back blocks that we have right here, and we'll be focusing on the left and right hand side a little later on. So once you've done your 4 rows of black, you then want to add an additional layer of light blue stained clay. Then after that, do 4 rows of white stained clay. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then do 2 rows of light blue stained clay. That'll be 1 and 2. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 1 white clay, 2 dark blue, then 2 black, 2 blue stained clay, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do 2 blue stained clay, then 4 black stained clay, 2 blue stained clay. Then for the next 2 rows, you just want to place a single blue stained clay on the left and right hand side, and then you just want to do black completely in the center. So that's for 2 rows, blue stained clay on the left and right, black in the center. And once you've got that taken care of, guys, what you can then do is just make the entire rest of the back black wool. And to do that, just raise up the rows with your black wool until they are equal height with the front of your statue. So we don't have to count these out, although you could if you wanted to. Let me do a rough count for you guys. That should be in total 8 rows of black. But again, you don't really have to count them out, do you? You just have to make it so it's equal height with the front of your statue. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, all we have to do now is the backs of the arms. So the backs of the arms are identical to the fronts of the arms in pretty much every single way. Except the only difference, of course, is that they're on the back and they are ever so slightly mirrored because, well, they're on the back. But, well, they're not really mirrored, are they? It's literally the exact same thing, really, except it's just, you know, like 3 rows backwards. That's all you have to do. So all you have to do to complete the backs of the arms, as I'm already doing, just look directly forward at what you did for the fronts of the arms and then just copy them directly. Just like this. Just literally copy block for block in the same position except on the back, literally just 3 rows backwards. Copy, and you should end up with something that should look a little bit like this. There you go, that is Aphmau's back. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So we now have to take care of the sides of Aphmau because, well, she's looking a little empty at the moment. this is quite easy. Why? Because all you have to do is this. So, on the sides of the statue, where you have black wool, you want to fill black wool in the center, like where we have black wool on the left, where we have black wool on the right, use that color, fill the center part in. Where we have light blue clay, on the left and right, do that in the center. Where you have white stained clay, etc, etc. It continues on up, and it even applies to the bottom of the hand. So on the bottom of the, whoops, come on, there we go. Even for the bottom of the hand, where you have this white stained clay, you want to connect that to, oh my god, you want to connect that together. Then you want to do cyan stained clay, where you have cyan, and this follows all the way up the side of the arm as well, even though this for some reason is proving difficult, not entirely sure why. Probably shouldn't be giving me this much trouble, but it is. Again, not entirely sure why. So then you just want to fill the top of the shoulder in with white stained clay, and that is how you do the side of the statue. You basically just follow it all the way up. You even do the under part of the hand. You do the upper part of the hand, which is the shoulder. Upper part of the hand. What am I talking about? Very tired, guys. And you just follow the colours, and you start from the bottom, go all the way to the top. Not only do you want to do this on this side of the statue, but you want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side of the statue. So come into the opposite side of the statue, the exact same process, where you have black wool, where you have light blue wool, and it's as easy as that, guys. Just to keep repeating myself over and over again like a lunatic, you just want to keep doing the exact same thing over and over again. So we're now just doing it with the white stained clay. Now we're adding a little bit of cyan in, and then we can do the exact same thing with the white stained clay once again. We've got to fill in the top of the shoulder. We want to come in by at least 3. We can come in by more, but no less, otherwise we'll have holes in our statue. And you just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And that's what you want to have, guys. That is the side of your Aphmau completed, both sides. Once you've got both of those taken care of, it's now time for us to take care of Aphmau's head. So come all the way to the front of the statue and come all the way up to the top of the torso. Take out your black wool, and on top of the top row of the torso, stack an extra row of black wool. So it's just coming up out the statue like that. What you then want to do is take this extra row of black wool and extend it, coming towards you by 1. So just by 1 with the black wool. Then going from left to right in front of this row, you want to do this. Do 2 black wool, then do 5 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 black wool. And that's the first row of Aphmau's face. What we now want to do is this. So you want to, going from left to right for the next row, and this is actually for 2 rows, guys. You can do this to 2 rows. Do 2 black wool, then 1 orange, then do 2 white stained clay, then 1 orange, 1 white wool, then 1 black wool. And like I said, that's for 2 rows. So once you've done that to 1, do the exact same thing to the row just above it. So you just want to end up with something that should look like this. Then do the exact, well, not the exact same thing. What you then want to do is do 2 solid rows of black wool. So that's 1 and 2 solid rows of black wool, like that. What you then want to do for the next row is, starting from the left hand side, 2 light grey, then 4 magenta, 2 light grey. For the next row, do 3 light grey, then 2 black wool, 3 light grey. Then, for the final row of the face, just do an entire row of light grey wool to give you something which should look a little bit like this. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So that's the face done. Once you've got that taken care of, you want to come all the way around to the back of the statue, and where we have this first row of the head, you want to take this, and with your black wool you want to extend it until this row comes all the way over the back of the statue and overhangs the back of the statue by 2 rows. So that'll be 1 and 2, just like that. What we now want to do is raise up each one of these 2 back corners of the head, and we want to raise them up until they are equal height. Can you see with where we have the black wool on the front of the head? We want to raise it up until it's equal height with that black wool that we have at the front of the head, like where it ends at the top. So we want to have something which should look like that. What we can then do is take out the light grey wool, and on top of the same corners, we just want to raise up those corners, and we then, with the light grey, want to match the height that we have at the front of the head with the light grey. So we kind of just what we're doing is we're essentially just building the hat into the head, because that's what that is. That's what's on top of the head. It's a hat. So once you've got that taken care of, what you can then do is fill the upper part of the head in with light grey wool, so that includes the sides and the top, and then we can fill the lower half of the head, we can fill that in with black wool, so that will just be the sides. We don't have to fill the top of the head in, obviously, because we're just doing that now with the light grey. And once we've done that, we do have a couple of more details to add to the statue. There's quite a few, actually. A lot of them surrounding the hat and the hair, but we'll do that in just a moment, won't we? So we're just filling in the rest of the head with our black wool now, and then we can move on to the next bit. So we still have that opposite side to do. I thought that we were doing this clockwise, but I was completely wrong. Let's see here. So we're now on this side of the head, and we just want to end up with something that should look exactly like this, and that is Aphmau's head. Pretty much complete, minus a few details. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So take out your magenta wool. Where we have the first line of this light grey coming up from the bottom, starting from this back left hand side here, we want to do a row of 4 magenta coming towards the front. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I said 4. I did mean 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 coming towards the front like that. We then want to take this first block, this one closest to the back of the head, we want to extend it coming all the way around the back of the head, and it wants to come all the way around, and it wants to wrap all the way around onto the opposite side, and it wants to come forward by 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And that is just like the brim of the hat, whatever the hell you call it, the bit that actually like overhangs the head, that's what that is. What we can now do is this. So on top of the head as well, there's like a 4x4 square directly in the center of the head of magenta wool, and that's just the thing that's like at the top of the hat. It's like that little button looking thing. So just also add that. It's just a 2x2 square right in the center of the head, just on top of it. Don't count in, you don't have to, just eyeball it like I did just there. Once you've got that taken care of, what we can now do is mess about with the hair as well. So this next bit is kind of optional, but what you may want to do, the hair, essentially the black wool that we have on the front of the statue and on the back of the statue, you might want to take that and you might want to extend it out, coming out of the front of the statue by 1 row. Why might you want to do this? Just because it gives the hair a bit more of a 3D effect, just because it makes the statue look a little bit more interesting, because too many statues are just a little too flat and a little uninteresting. So there we have the hair coming out of the front, and that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Well, we can also do the same thing on the back. If you guys can remember, we have a load of hair on the back as well. We've just added an additional black wool there where we didn't need to. Perfect. You might also want to do the same thing on the back, like I said. You might just want to extend this hair out if you like this effect. Now, I do. I like this a lot, so I'm hoping that you guys do as well. You might just want to apply this to your very own statue. And I do say might because maybe you don't. Who knows? I'm not a mind reader. So that's the hair on the back of the statue, and I do think it looks better. It makes a lot more sense as well. And what you'll end up with, guys, if you do all of that, and I do think that that looks so much nicer than if it was all just flat and built in. That is Aphmau. Why don't we take off the UI and why don't we circle this thing a little bit? So hopefully you guys have managed to make it. I really like this statue now that it's all popped out, now that it's all nice in 3D. Looks cool, doesn't it? I mean, we can even get the hat in there a little bit. You can see the top of the hat, and that's really cool. Hopefully you guys have managed to make this. Hopefully you guys like it. And if you've managed to do both those things, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys. I would just always vastly appreciate. Feel free to comment down below. Who do you want to see me make next? I made Aphmau completely due to the request that you guys left me on my Sam Gladiator video, which was the last YouTuber statue that I made. So the next one, completely up to you guys. We'll just have to see who you want the most. Feel free to check out the description below, which I'll be leaving all of my tutorial playlists, but really check out the card system. The card system is where things are at. That's where you'll find the exclusively YouTubers playlist. That's where you'll find some cool statue related playlists, and probably some other things later on. Maybe I'll leave you like my new parkour series, maybe a creative world tour, stuff that I think that you guys will actually want to check out. Sorry if this tutorial has been a little weird, sorry if it's been a little drawn out, it's because I'm very, very tired, guys, I apologise, but I can't just stop making videos if I'm feeling a little bit sleepy, so I've pushed through it. Might have made a couple of mistakes, might have, you know, said some stupid things, but hey, maybe you guys won't even notice. That's kind of like the norm for me, so hopefully you guys like it. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.